Good morning, I'm Cody Henriksen. Today we're going to be looking at how we can annotate the screenshots of some programs that we're working with in Java so we can do a little more formal explanation and reflection on what we're working with. It's a great way to take a look at existing code, do some information and talk about it, and then we can easily add that to our notes and come back to it and reflect with it. And it's a little bit more involved than simply just adding comments to the line of code so we can see what's going on with that. I'll be using OS X to do this and taking screenshots using the screenshot tool, Command-Shift-4. If you're using a Windows box, you can take screenshots using the snipping tool, or there's a great tool out there called Greenshot. There's some wonderful tools out there you can use for to do that as well, but we'll go ahead and let's get started with that. As you can see right now, I'm inside my runner class. And so my runner class is just that one thing we use to always start our project up. And we're going to use this to demonstrate how we can annotate what's going on, making sure we understand the pieces and the components we're working with. It's a great way to do some labeling and practice to see what we're working with and understand those key components. So I'll take my screenshot, Command-Shift-4. And as you can see, I'm going to drag and select that area around this. I always want to give myself a little bit extra space so I can give myself some room to work within the screenshot. It brings a little pop-up right down here, and I'm going to bring that back up right here. And so what you can do now is I can just do some quick annotations and label the different components we're working with so I can identify explicitly what we're talking about and what we're working with. So I'll go ahead and grab the text tool right here. And grabs the text up here and move that up here. And I'm just going to take this right here, stretch it out a bit, and this is the package statement. And so I can put a quick little explanation of that right here so I can easily explain what that code itself does. So the package statement tells the JVM where our file is, and I can use the lovely magic power right here. I can grab a color, make a font. I like using this cute little one right here, the little chalkboard style. And let's get a color here. Green's pretty bright. Actually, let's match it yellow. Let's match it to what we're working with. There's a yellow. And I can just go ahead and I can drag around this. And there, I can say the package statement is what that is. And so I can use that to link exactly what we're working with. I can tie that directly to it. I can also use this one right here and grab a rectangle around something. And I can just rotate the size of that a bit, pick that up. And then I have this new one right here. There we go. We'll change the color on that one, make it pink. And then boom, we'll go back over here, click and add a different text. And this time the text will match the pink that we're working with as well, so we can see that we can link it directly to it. And grab a text box. And so this way I can see that I'm lining up what I'm working with, so I can easily see what I'm doing on that. And let's set my text, make sure it's set to wrap. And we'll just have it so it goes like this. Okay, there we go. And so this is the class header, always public. And the name is capitalized. And so what I can do right here is I can just immediately use the screenshot tool so I can say, oh, here's what this is and what I'm doing with it. This is a great practice that you can use so you can identify the different components. It's a great way to practice and review your vocabulary, making sure you identify the concepts you're working with, and you can go over all those vocab words and do that. So do the same thing again one more time right here. I'll grab a new text. And we'll change the color again because, hey, we use the colors to match what we're working with at the time. We'll have this one be green. And this is a parameter. And we'll drag a little arrow to it. Grab my marker. There. And so I drew a line to the parameter. We'll make that so it's a green line instead of pink. So it matches what we're doing right there. Boom. I'm pointing to the parameter right there so I can identify that. And again, it's a nice way I can visually clue those in. So we'll go ahead and we'll grab this out and get a rectangle around this. Bring that down right here. And then the text to go along with it. This is a constructor call. Grab a new box. That shrunk down right here. Get it a color that's not black since I'm on a background. Make that brown. Sure, brown's a great color. And so now I have my Appcontroller app. I've got that highlighted. We'll go ahead and grab the text so it's that color as well, make it so it makes it easy. And grab a new text right there. So that app is the instance of the controller object. We can use that nice labeling right there. We can easily have that going. And then we'll do one more on this. Let's do a couple more. So let's do one right here. Let's grab a rounded one. Let's grab it over this. And so we'll just go up here and shrink that down right here. And let's give it a color. Let's make this one be nice and blue. And then we'll go over here, grab a text, move the text just to the right of it as well, and have it be blue so it matches what we're working with. Nice turquoise. That's a method signature or header. So we can see what we're doing with that. So again, we can identify our vocab terms, we can identify what we're working with. And this is a great way we can identify the pieces of stuff. We can use this in practice. And so we can identify what's happening inside this. And by using some color coordination and just quick little arrows and cute things like that, it's a great way we can make it so it's easy for us to access. So by hitting done, it automatically saves it to my desktop. And a desktop doesn't give it a good file name, so we go take a look at that. We just have a screenshot at this time at 2:14 p.m. Now let's change that. There's my screen, great, wonderful thing. But let's close that back down. And instead of having a screenshot like this, we'll have it be runner labeling. And now I have a label for that I can use to do some stuff. So I can actually understand what's going on with that. Let's do the same thing with our Appcontroller.java and go over that as well. So as you can see, my Appcontroller, I collapsed everything down. So I can just use this quick part to identify those pieces. This is a great way I can use it to, say, for example, study and review concepts and then expand it out and identify the different components as well. So first we have in our class, we have our class header, we have our declaration section. We have another data member inside the declaration section separated out for because we added it afterward. We have our constructor. We have our methods section. And that's all right there. So boom, we can have that identified. Here's the pieces in the big scale and then go into more detail in the next screenshot. Let's do that right now. And again, give ourselves a little bit extra space. So we have that right there. Open it up inside the screenshot tool. And so we can label these different components using just the magic power of a block group. So we'll grab that group right there, slurp it over. There we go, boom. And have that matching text font to that, great. Okay, grab a text, put it up here. And this is the declaration section. We have a nice little brief description of the data member section right here. So we have a declaration section. We have all our data members are always declared private visibility. We have the order of our declaration where it's the visibility, then the type, then its name, and every ends with a semicolon. So we have them all listed right there. And that's what we will be using all in class. The next one we have, of course, is our constructor section. So we'll bring that down here, resize this a bit, doop-de-doop. And we'll change the color, make it pink. Go to my font, also make it pink again. Okay, so we have a quick little blurb about constructors as well right here. So constructors, they have the same name as a class. They never have a return type. And their job is to initialize or instantiate all object by assigning values to all the data members. And then we have our methods section. So we now have our methods section. We have a couple methods in this assignment. So we have a start method and an ask questions method. And again, the order of the methods as we write them doesn't matter. But we do want to try and group them by task. It makes it a little bit easier to organize and understand. And each method should do one thing well. Our first project has a bunch of stuff happening in start, but we'll be cleaning that up and working better as we go along. And so we have our quick little micro notes here for this one. We can go ahead and save that one as well. Go ahead and click on done for that. Get it out of the way. Go back to Finder, give it a better name. And finally, we'll go ahead and expand everything out inside this. And so now we can do a bit more involved screenshot for this. I'll shrink my font down a bit so I can get more details on here, but I can have everything still fit on the screen. Now we have the entire file on one single screen. We can do a more complex annotation or screenshot for that. Take the screenshot again, pull that back up. And now I can just go ahead and give a little more detail, assign what's happening inside each of the different blocks so we can see how that's going. So let's go ahead and get that done and we'll take a look from there. So first thing we have right here, as you can see, I did a quick little highlight to go above and beyond since it was collapsed earlier. And so now I assign all the values inside the constructor to the data members that are attached to it. So each one has a value attached to it explicitly. And so we can see how that's happening right there. Then we'll go ahead and we can see how we can document what's happening inside our system.println and our ask questions method and give a little bit of blurbs about that. So we'll go ahead and have a little bit of detail there. So right here we can see this is an example of string concatenation. We're using literals and variables. So I'm taking the string literals of hello, my name is, and I am, and I love spicy food, and concatenate them using the plus sign operator to put that together with the name variable and the age variable. So I can add those together and put them in. And so it's a quick way you can use some quick little demonstrations of how we can use things and demonstrate stuff. This is a great tool you can use so you can keep track of information, use it in class. We'll be working with you to do this more often as we go through the year, but this is a great tool you can use so you can keep track of what you're working on and identify what you've done. And it's a great way to take some better notes and use things in class better. Thanks again. Have a great day. We'll go from there.